Imagine a world reborn from extinction, a world where the dinosaurs had vanished, but nature was already preparing a new ruler, one that didn't walk on legs, didn't roar into the skies, and didn't dominate with sharp teeth or towering height. Instead, it slithered, and it grew, and it became the largest snake ever known to have lived on Earth. This is the story of Titanoboa cerahonensis, a creature so massive, so unexpected, that its discovery reshaped our understanding of life after the dinosaurs. Today, we dive deep into its world, its appearance, its behavior, its ecosystem, its rise, and its mysterious disappearance, and we ask the ultimate question: could Titanoboa survive in our world today? Let's begin with the creature itself. Titanoboa was a giant in every sense of the word, stretching up to about 43 feet long, longer than a school bus, and weighing more than a small car. This snake was unlike anything alive today. Its body was thick, round, and muscular, with a diameter nearly as wide as a grown man's torso. It wasn't a sleek, swift hunter like modern vipers or cobras. Instead, it was built like a living freight train, heavy, powerful, and almost unstoppable once coiled around its prey. Despite its intimidating size, Titanoboa didn't move quickly on land. Its immense bulk made fast slithering nearly impossible. But the water changed everything. In the rivers and swamps of ancient Colombia, buoyancy turned this slow-moving giant into a graceful, silent predator, gliding effortlessly through murky waters. It didn't roar or growl. Like all snakes, it had no vocal cords. Its only sounds were the soft pushes of water, the subtle rustle of scales, and the quiet hiss of breath. To understand Titanoboa's world, we must travel back about 60 million years into the Paleocene Epoch, an era just after the extinction of the dinosaurs. Life was recovering, evolving, filling the niches left behind. In northern South America, in what is now the Cerrejón region of Colombia, lay a vast, dense tropical swamp forest. It was one of the hottest places on Earth at the time. The average temperature hovered between 86 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. There were no cold seasons, no cool nights. Rainfall was immense, almost double what the Amazon receives today. This extreme warmth and constant humidity created an enormous, lush, waterlogged jungle. Thick mangrove-like trees formed dark canopies. Huge leaves blocked the sunlight. Rivers wound through endless swamps filled with turtles, crocodilian-like reptiles, fish, palms, and primitive flowering plants. This young, thriving rainforest, one of Earth's earliest, was the perfect home for a giant, cold-blooded predator. Titanoboa lived here not as a rare monster, but as a dominant species. Fossil discoveries now show that dozens of individuals of varying sizes once inhabited these swamps. And because the world was so warm, far warmer than it is today, snakes could grow larger than ever before. Titanoboa wasn't just big, it was an evolutionary product of perfect conditions. In this swampy world, Titanoboa likely spent most of its time in water. Its mass would have made moving on land exhausting, but the rivers gave it freedom. Much like modern anacondas, Titanoboa probably waded submerged, with only its eyes and nostrils above the surface. This was the perfect ambush strategy. Its prey rarely saw it coming. And what exactly did Titanoboa eat? Early research suggested it may have hunted giant crocodiles. The swamps were full of reptiles, after all. And while Titanoboa certainly could have crushed a crocodile if needed, later investigations revealed something surprising. Titanoboa might have primarily been a fish eater. Its skull structure, teeth shape, and the abundance of fossilized fish species in the same deposits suggest that Titanoboa often targeted enormous fish, some 6 feet or longer. With a sudden burst of power, it could wrap its giant coils around its prey, cutting off blood flow and breath in seconds. Then it would swallow the animal whole, a slow, methodical process that could take minutes or even hours. But Titanoboa wasn't limited to fish. Large turtles and small crocodilian relatives were also part of its world, and many scientists believe Titanoboa occasionally preyed on them too. In a swamp full of giant reptiles, Titanoboa sat at the very top of the food chain. Reproduction for Titanoboa remains a mystery, as no eggs or nests were ever found. But because it belonged to the boa family, whose living members today give birth to live young, scientists strongly believe Titanoboa also gave live birth. Larger female snakes among modern species often produce dozens of offspring at once, and Titanoboa likely behaved the same way. After birth, however, the young were probably on their own immediately. Like their modern relatives, Titanoboa parents likely did not protect or raise their offspring. The survival of each baby snake depended on instinct, camouflage, and luck in a world full of predators. Yet even with its impressive size and strength, Titanoboa did not last forever. About 58 million years ago, something began to change. The global climate gradually cooled, not dramatically, but enough to reshape ecosystems. Because Titanoboa was cold-blooded, its growth and metabolism depended entirely on warm environmental temperatures. As temperatures dropped, even just a few degrees, snakes could no longer reach such enormous sizes. The dense, swampy rainforests also shifted. Plant communities changed, rivers and wetlands evolved, fish populations shifted. Titanoboa's perfect environment slowly vanished. Sometime between 58 and 56 million years ago, Titanoboa disappeared. No fossils appear in younger rock layers, suggesting its extinction coincided with these environmental shifts. There was no dramatic asteroid impact, no volcanic catastrophe, just a slow reshaping of Earth's climate and ecosystems. In the end, Titanoboa was a specialist, adapted perfectly to one kind of world. When that world faded, so did the titan of the swamps. Now comes the fascinating question. If Titanoboa somehow appeared in our world today, could it survive? The answer is almost certainly no. Today's tropical forests, including the Amazon, are significantly cooler than the Paleocene. Average temperatures are lower, and the climate includes seasonal variations that Titanoboa was never adapted to handle. A giant cold-blooded reptile of its size would struggle to maintain enough body heat to grow, hunt, or reproduce. Even in the hottest parts of the Amazon today, the environment simply isn't warm enough to support a snake of Titanoboa's dimensions. But suppose it did survive, what would life be like for such a creature? In a modern setting, Titanoboa would probably resemble an oversized anaconda. It would live in rivers, swamps, and flooded forests, hiding beneath water plants and ambushing prey. But unlike its Paleocene ancestors, it would likely grow much smaller, perhaps no longer than 20 to 30 feet, limited by cooler temperatures and less stable heat. It would have to compete with jaguars, caimans, and human activity. In many regions, it would likely avoid humans entirely, becoming a shadowy presence in deep, untouched wetland systems. But even then, climate constraints would prevent it from ever reaching its prehistoric grandeur. Still, as an animal of the past, Titanoboa remains one of the most remarkable creatures ever discovered. It earned the name Titanic boa for good reason. It dominated a world freshly recovering from the age of dinosaurs. It stretched longer than any snake known today, and its presence tells us a deep truth about Earth's ancient climate, a truth written into its bones. Titanoboa's size is a biological thermometer, a reminder that Earth's past was once far hotter, wetter, and wilder than anything we know today. Its fossils were first mistaken for crocodile bones. Its world was a steaming greenhouse jungle where giant turtles paddled through blackwater rivers and crocodilian ancestors lurked in mangrove roots. And within that world, Titanoboa ruled, not with speed, not with venom, but with sheer, overwhelming presence. The story of Titanoboa is a story of evolution, climate, and mystery. It reminds us that life on Earth is shaped as much by temperature and environment as it is by teeth and claws. and it invites us to imagine a world where reptiles reached impossible sizes and where the shadows beneath the water belong to creatures unlike anything alive today. Titanoboa may be gone, but through its fossils its legacy lives on, an eternal ruler of the ancient rainforest, a silent titan of the Paleocene world, and one of the most astonishing animals to ever glide across our planet. Are you curious how these giant snakes lived when there was no human presence about a million years ago? Here we have created some visuals with the help of artificial intelligence for better understanding about this species. Hope you enjoyed and got enough information about this giant. Stay with us to more about extinct species. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below if you want to know about any extinct species.